Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of tablecloths. These often overlooked items have a rich and varied history. These simple yet elegant additions to our tables have a history that goes way back. We're talking centuries, from humble beginnings to symbols of wealth and status. In ancient times, they were used to keep tables safe from spills and crumbs. Imagine a time when even a simple cloth was a luxury. Having a tablecloth also meant you were pretty well off. It was a sign of affluence and good taste. As we move through history to the Middle Ages, tablecloths became fancier, with detailed designs and embroidery. They were often handmade and took hours to create. Then in the Renaissance period, they got even more decorated with lace and fancy additions. The craftsmanship was truly remarkable. They weren't just for dinner anymore. They were used for big events like weddings and feasts. These events showcased the finest tablecloths, often passed down through generations. Moving on to the Victorian era in England, no properly set table was without a tablecloth. It was an essential part of dining etiquette. Linen or lace were the popular choices, starched and ironed to perfection. The effort put into maintaining these tablecloths was immense. And today? Well, tablecloths are still here. They continue to add a touch of elegance to our dining experiences. People use them to make their tables look nice and to keep them clean. They serve both a practical and aesthetic purpose. You can find them in all sorts of materials, colours and patterns, so there's one for everyone. From simple cotton to luxurious silk, the options are endless. Whether it's a fancy dinner party or a casual meal with family, a tablecloth just makes things a bit more special. It's a small touch that brings warmth and charm to any gathering. All right, so you want to make a tablecloth? That's fantastic. A tablecloth can really set the mood for any meal, whether it's a casual family dinner or a fancy gathering. Awesome! The first thing you need to do is pick out your fabric. This might seem overwhelming at first, but don't worry, we're here to help you through it. Linen is a favourite for a lot of people because it's strong and looks really classy. It's a timeless choice that adds a touch of elegance to any table setting. It also absorbs spills and doesn't stain easily, which is perfect for a tablecloth. Plus, it gets softer with each wash, making it more comfortable over time. But keep in mind that linen can be a bit pricey and it wrinkles easily. If you don't mind ironing, it can be a great choice. Another popular choice is cotton. It's versatile and widely available, making it a go-to for many households. It's easier on the wallet compared to linen and comes in tons of colours and patterns. Whether you want something plain or vibrant, cotton has you covered. You'll definitely find one that matches your style. Plus, it's breathable and comfortable, making it a practical choice for everyday use. Cotton is also pretty easy to take care of. You can just toss it in the washing machine. It's durable and can withstand frequent washing without losing its charm. Now, if you want something that really resists wrinkles, polyester is your go-to. It's a synthetic fabric that's known for its durability and low maintenance. It's also less expensive than linen or cotton. If you're on a budget, polyester can be a great option without compromising on style. However, it doesn't absorb spills as well as natural fabrics, so maybe not the best choice if you think there might be some accidents at the dinner table. But it's easy to clean, which is a plus. Lastly, we have damask, a fancy fabric with intricate patterns. It's perfect for adding a touch of luxury to your dining experience. It's usually made from linen, cotton or silk. Each material brings its own unique qualities to the table, literally. Damask is the way to go for special occasions. Its intricate designs and luxurious feel make it ideal for weddings, holidays and other memorable events. Okay, so you've got your fabric. It's time to get started on making your perfect tablecloth. Now it's time to measure your table and cut the fabric to the right size. This step is crucial to ensure a perfect fit. To figure out how big your tablecloth needs to be, measure the length and width of your table. Make sure to note down these dimensions accurately. Then, add how much overhang you want on each side. This will give your tablecloth a nice drape over the edges. Overhang is the fabric that hangs over the edges of your table. It adds a touch of elegance and ensures the table is fully covered. Usually people go for about 10 to 12 inches, but you can go shorter or longer if you like. It all depends on your personal preference and the look you're going for. Once you know the size, you can cut the fabric. Be sure to follow the measurements closely to avoid any mistakes. If you're using a patterned fabric, make sure the pattern is centered on the tablecloth. This will ensure a balanced and visually appealing look. Now let's talk about sewing, a super important part of making a tablecloth. It takes a bit of focus and attention to detail. If your tablecloth has multiple pieces of fabric, you need to sew them together carefully. Line up the edges of the fabric, making sure the pattern matches if you're using one. Use pins to keep the fabric from moving around while you sew. Using a sewing machine or a needle and thread, sew along the pinned edges, keeping the seam allowance the same throughout. For extra strength, try a backstitch at the beginning and end of each seam. This will make sure your stitching doesn't come undone. Once you've sewn all the seams, give your work a good look to make sure everything is secure. Then take out those pins. Now we're on to hemming, which gives your tablecloth a nice, polished look and stops the edges from fraying. All right, time for the finishing touch hemming. Hemming is basically folding and sewing the edges of the fabric. It stops the fabric from fraying and makes it look nice and neat. A double fold hem is really popular for tablecloths, and it's pretty sturdy too. To do a double fold hem, fold the edge of the fabric up by 1/4 inch and iron it flat. Then fold it up again by 1/2 inch and iron it again. This will give you a clean and finished edge. Once the hem is ironed, pin it in place and sew it down using a straight stitch. Don't pull or stretch the fabric while you're sewing the hem. This will help keep the hem even and prevent it from puckering. After you've sewn the hem, give it another press with the iron to set the stitches. Hemming makes your tablecloth look really polished and professional. It also makes the edges stronger, so your tablecloth can handle being used and washed without falling apart. You've put all this work into making your tablecloth, so let's talk about how to keep it looking its best. Linen and cotton tablecloths can be washed in the washing machine with cold water and a gentle detergent. Tumble dry them on low heat or hang them outside to dry. Polyester tablecloths can also be machine washed and dried, but use warm water and a gentle cycle. To prevent wrinkles, take your tablecloth out of the dryer as soon as it's done and fold it neatly. If you need to, you can iron your tablecloth, but use a low setting. Don't use bleach or fabric softeners on your tablecloth because they can damage the fabric. By following these easy care tips, your tablecloth will stay beautiful for years to come. Did you know that tablecloths have special meanings in different parts of the world? It's true. In some cultures, certain colours or designs have special meanings. For example, in some Asian cultures, red is a lucky colour and is often used in tablecloths for celebrations. Also, intricate embroidery or lacework on tablecloths can be unique to a particular region or culture, representing traditional crafts passed down through generations. These special details add a unique charm and tell a story of cultural heritage. When we understand the cultural significance of tablecloths, we can appreciate them even more. They become more than just decoration. They reflect tradition, artistry, and the heart of a community. So, you see, a tablecloth is more than just something to cover a table with. It's a way to add a touch of elegance, style, and your own personal touch to your dining experience. By following the steps we've talked about, you can easily create your own tablecloth that's both beautiful and practical. It doesn't matter if you're a sewing pro or just starting out, making a tablecloth is a really rewarding experience. You'll end up with a beautiful and unique piece for your home, and you can be proud of the fact that you made it yourself. From choosing the fabric to the very last stitch, every step in making a tablecloth is a chance to be creative and add your own personal flair. Pick fabrics that you love and experiment with different hemming techniques or embellishments to make your tablecloth truly one of a kind. Remember, crafting a tablecloth is about more than just covering a table. It's about expressing your personal style and celebrating the art of handmade creations.